Hello everyone! Today we are going to discuss our first module in arts, which is the elements and principles of arts and crafts in Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia pertains to the huge peninsula of Indochina and the extensive archipelago that is sometimes called as East Indies. Southeast Asia consists of the following countries: Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Brunei, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, Singapore, and Philippines. Southeast Asian arts are predominantly influenced by religious belief and are often express natural scenes and themes from their aesthetic tradition. Now, let's discuss the arts and crafts of Thailand. Thailand is also known for their Thai silk. Thai silk is produced from the cocoons of Thai silkworms. So we have here a picture of the silkworms. And on the next picture, you can see there the cocoons of Thai silkworms where the threads used in making silk came from. So Thai silk is mainly produced in Korat, which is the center of the silk industry in Thailand. So Korat is one of the regions in Thailand. Here are the examples of the Thai silk. Thailand also have flying lanterns. So these flying lanterns are made out of oiled rice paper with bamboo frame. It contains a fuel cell or small candle. So these fuel cell or small candle help the lanterns to fly. It is used during the year of festivals. And the most popular festivals is the Loy Krathong festival. So here are the examples on how they celebrate the Loy Krathong festival. So Loy Krathong festival is held on the night of the 12th full moon, usually in November, with Chiang Mai believed to have the brightest and the most spectacular celebrations. When it comes to sculpture, Thailand have Wat Phu, the famous sculpture in Bangkok. It is one of the largest temple complexes in the city of Bangkok. It's famed for its giant reclining Buddha that is 46 meters long and 15 meters high, covered in gold leaf. This is the picture of the giant reclining Buddha inside Wat Phu. Now, let's go to the country of Cambodia. Silk weaving in Cambodia dates to as early as the late 13th century, where women only weave cotton from kapok. Kapok is a tropical tree in Cambodia. So during that time, women only weave cotton because none of the locals produces silk. There are two main types of Cambodian weaving. The first one is the ikat technique. The second one is the uneven twill. So when we say ikat technique, it produces patterned fabric which is diverse and vary by region. So to create patterns, Weavers tie and dye portions of the weft yarn before weaving begins. We have here example of the fabric using ikat technique. So you can see the patterns and two colors, dark blue and white. So yung white part po na yan po yung hindi nakulayan during the tie and dye process. Next is the uneven twill. When we say uneven twill, it yields a single or two fabrics which are produced by weaving three threads so that the color of one thread dominates on one side of the fabric while the others determine the color on the reverse side. We have here the example of uneven twill fabric. So it has two sides. On the upper part, white dominates the fabric, or white color dominates the fabric, and on the lower side, maroon dominates the color of the fabric, so it is uneven. Cambodian silk was sold domestically where it used in sampot or wrap skirts, furnishings, and pidan or pictorial tapestries. So this is the example of the wrap skirt or sampot. Then, the pidan or pictorial tapestries. Usually, makikita ito sa wall ng mga bahay sa Cambodia. Next, we have the handicrafts. Cambodian farmers weave baskets made of thinly cut bamboo as a source of income. They also have mat weaving. However, it became a seasonal occupation. So these mats are made of reeds. Mats are laid out for guests and are important building materials for homes. They also have sa paper. So farmers make paper by hand. It is made using bark of sa or mulberry tree. That's why it is called sa paper, because it is made using the bark of the sa or mulberry tree. It is used for calligraphy and making festival decorations such as umbrella, fans, and kites. This is the picture of the mulberry tree. And here are the examples of the products made from the sa paper. There's a lampshade, umbrellas, and other decorations. Now, let's move on to the country of Vietnam. In Vietnam, silk painting is the most important forms of arts, favored for the mystical atmosphere that can be achieved with the medium. Here are the examples of the silk painting. So here are the typical showcase of silk painting or the themes used in the silk painting. Countryside, landscapes, pagodas, historical events, and scenes of daily life. So yan po ang makikita nating designs doon sa kanilang silk painting. And now, let's go to Indonesia. So Indonesia is known for their famous wayang kulit, or it is called as the shadow puppet play. So wayang in modern Indonesian language means show or perform. And kulit means skin. Because in wayang kulit performances, they use a puppet made of the skin of the buffalo or the goat hide. Others say that wayang is also attributed to the Indonesian word baying, which means shadow. These are the examples of the puppets used in wayang kulit performances. The performance of wayang kulit. Puppets are moved behind a cotton or linen screen by a dalang or a puppet master in shadow puppet plays. So si puppet master po, ang tawag sa kanya ay dalang. Siya po yung nagko-control at nagpapagalaw ng puppets sa likod ng screen. So shadow lang po ang makikita ng viewers during the performance. Wayang kulit performance depict epic stories of the gods in shadow play. It derived from Hindu-Buddhist tradition. So ang pinapakita po sa performance ng wayang kulit is the stories of gods or of the gods of Hindu-Buddhist tradition. The following are the elements of wayang kulit performance. First, the puppeteer or dalang. He is the one who entertains and teaches. So they are usually men. Next, we have the gamelan. A gamelan is a traditional Indonesian orchestra. Its job is to accompany the puppeteer's story with engaging music. So gamelan serve as the background music during the performance. Then number 3, we have the shadow puppets. There are usually 7 types of the puppets used in the wayang kulit performances. First is the putri or women, the nawa or monsters, dagelan or clowns, halus or refined characters, the gaga or warrior type characters, wanara or monkeys, and the last one is gusen or characters with modest manners. When it comes to fabric, Indonesian have batik. The most common fabric in some Southeast Asian countries is the batik, which is thought to be derived from the word batik, that can be translated into a cloth with little dots. So batik means a cloth with little dots. Here are examples of the batik fabric. The drop action refers to the process of dyeing the fabric by making use of a resist technique. So when you say resist technique, they are covering the areas of cloth with a dye-resistant substance to prevent them from absorbing colors. So they usually use wax para hindi po maka-absorb ng color ang part na nilagyan ng wax. So it sometimes serve as the outline of the designs. So this is the example of batik making. So nilalagyan po nila ng wax, serve as the outline of the designs they made. Indonesian batik has many colors and patterns. Natural materials such as cotton or silk are used for the cloth so that it can absorb the wax that is applied in the dye-resisting process. Traditional colors for Central Javanese batik were made from natural ingredients and consisted primarily of beige, blue, brown, and black. The oldest color that was used in traditional batik making was blue.